Hey family, thank you so much for joining me. So I wanted to bring you a video to talk about more readings with the divine masculine and divine feminine. And so let me just put the disclaimer on it. Um, this is a timeless reading, so it could have already happened, could be happening now, or could happen in the future. Um, and Of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. Um, your Sometimes I will say divine masculine and I mean divine feminine. Sometimes I'll say divine feminine and I mean divine masculine. So use those terms as they make sense to you. Um, this can be a manifestation reading for you, so you can actually use this reading to bring things into your reality. Um, and there might be some things that I leave out in this disclaimer. Just keep in mind, I might just say those things later in this reading. If you would like to work with me, my information is in the description below. I would be so excited for you to reach out to me to see if we would be a good fit to work together. All right. So if you'd like to work with me on twin flame stuff, love stuff, getting into union, staying in union, attracting love, abundance, money, you know, relationships, success, stress-free life, all these things, all these wonderful things into your life, feel free to reach out to me. Again, if there's something that I left out of this disclaimer, I will try to put it in the rest of the video. My information comes from the spirit, comes from God, doesn't come like I don't do any cards or anything like that. I just go from what God gives me. Um, and so let me just get into this reading. So divine masculine is kind of obsessed with you. And you might be thinking, what does that mean, obsessed? That they watch your social media constantly. And if you have posted something, for example, they're on it in probably in seconds. And you're thinking to yourself, well, they don't show it. So what's the deal? Why are they not showing me? But I think it could be a lot of things. It could be that you're divine masculine, shy. It could be, and for a lot of you, um, it could be that your divine masculine is, he doesn't want you to know. It could be that he's high profile and he doesn't want others to be in your business. Now, that does not mean that he cares whether people know that the two of you are involved, that you're together, that you're dating each other or not. That doesn't mean that he's ashamed or anything. That might just mean that he's thinking he wants to protect your union, your, for lack of a better term, relationship, that he wants to protect what the two of you have together and to a certain extent. And so he knows that once people know, like once they get some kind of confirmation from him that you're together, that if because he's high profile, there might be some, some people might try to bother you or say things to you or whatever. And so I think he's trying to strike this balance because on the one hand, he loves you, he doesn't care who knows, he wants to show it. But on the other hand, he knows that there's a risk that comes along with that. So he might not want to put you out there because he might not want to, for you to get hurt in this scenario. So, but divine masculine is obsessed. So, like I said, you might post something and then you might see that a person saw it like seconds later and you're like, who is it? Just don't doubt that it could be the divine masculine that's looking at your things. So, the things that you say, he remembers. If you say go out on a date and maybe if you you remember the movie The Notebook, um, with what's his name? It'll come to me. But the face is, I could see his face though. Ryan Gosling. And if you remember, they uh, his girlfriend was saying things to him when they were teenagers. Like, for example, he asked her what kind of house she wanted or something like that when they were teenagers. And then she told him, I want a white house, I want a white picket fence, all these things, whatever it was, she told him. And then years later, he remembered and he built this house. He had already built the house. And she was telling him, it was beautiful, whatever. And he was like, well, you told me that's what you wanted. So he remembers the things that you tell him. And so I think a lot of people will say they talk to their partner, whatever, their twin flame, and they, continue to remind them of things. And their twin flame is like, you don't need to remind me. I remember what you said. I know what you said. And they remember, and they end up like building something or buying something. And you're like, well, how do they know? Well, you told them and they remembered what you said. So don't doubt that your twin flame, your divine masculine remembers that they're listening to what you're saying, and they, are trying to deliver on what you asked them for. So I think that's one thing that's major, and giving them time, allowing them to deliver on what you ask them for is important. Because sometimes, like I said, there's this, constant reminding, and they're like, you don't have to tell me. I know. I remember what you said. So the obsession goes deep, that they constantly think about you. They look at your pictures, they wonder what you're doing, and they think, well, why isn't she, you know, if let's say you told them or you said, I'm going to be posting something, and say you're a little bit late because you're working or something, and they'll say, well, why aren't you posting? Because you said you're going to post. And they really have come to look forward to, depend on the things that you put out there. It's important to them. And so if they're not seeing it, they miss it. If they're not seeing you, they miss you. They want to be close to you, but there's again this fear, I think, that something will happen. Someone will try to bother you or something like that. And also them, divine masculine being shy for some of you, divine feminine. Sometimes they're shy, sometimes they're afraid, what if, you say no? What if I ask you out and you say no? What if I ask you to marry me and you say no? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're saying now, you love me and all this, but what about later? If you don't love me anymore, then what am I going to do? Because they're dependent on you. They really are in love with you, and they really want things to work out. A song that I was thinking about that came into my mind was Saving Forever for You. I don't know if you know the old school Shanice song, Saving Forever for You. You're the only one I'd ever give forever to. Love for a lifetime or two. Say we'll always stay together. So I'll be saving forever for you. So they sit around and think about, songs like that. Like another song that popped into my head, the Minnie Riperton song, Loving You. And, we think as divine feminines and as women that men don't like sit around and listen to songs. Like we sit around and listen to songs, and we um, daydream or whatever about our life together and running through fields with flowers and all. And they, guys do too. Like they'll be sitting thinking about what kind of outfits you're going to wear at the wedding, and how you're going to eat the cake, and what you're going to look like when they are sharing their vows with you, and like where you're going to go on your honeymoon and all this. They think about all this stuff too. And you don't always think of them as men as daydreaming or, whatever, fantasizing, but they are. So divine masculine is fantasizing about you, thinking about your life together, thinking about all the things that you're going to do. They're thinking about how, like I said, what you're going to look like in your wedding gown or whatever. If it's divine feminine, what, she's thinking about how are you going to look like in your tux, or, what are you going to say when you do share your vows, or what, just different things, like who are they going to invite, who are they not going to invite to the wedding. But if there's anything like they found that you posted something on social media, or you put out a video or whatever content you put out, they're on it. They want to know. They heard everything that you said. They're listening. They really want you to be close. If they could have it their way, like they would move in with you overnight, and they feel like, well, maybe if I ask them, they won't say yes, or they don't like me that much, even though they say that. So even though they're not an insecure type of person, they know that you're very confident and secure, and they know that you're gonna put them at ease, I think, because of a lot of your confidence. And they're probably confident around everyone else. When they get around you, they get nervous, and they're like wringing their hands, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Oh, she's here. She's here. Or, if it's divine feminine, oh, he's here. What am I going to do? I don't know. But they're not usually that way with people, and other people notice it too. And other people are looking like, what's the matter with you? Who is this person that makes you nervous? You're never nervous around anybody. So just keep in mind that they are nervous, they are obsessed, they constantly think about you all day and for a long time, and maybe even now. Like they start doing work and then they get distracted by your picture, let's say, because they're always looking at your pictures, listening to music and thinking about, oh, this is you, and this is so sweet, and how beautiful you are, and all that stuff. And they get distracted, and they're like, they should be doing work, but they don't want to do work all the time. And this is one of the first times that they have felt like this. Like they don't care about work, they don't care about that stuff. They're focused on you. What are you doing? They want to be doing something with you if they can. And so it's making them mad, and they get frustrated at themselves because they love you so much, and they know loving you that way, there's potential for them to really get hurt. Um, and so just continue to watch, read, listen to things that are going to lift you up, lift you both up, keep glowing up, because the glow up on the both of you is one reason why it's like a lot of other people have been pretty upset with you, and maybe a little jealous, or maybe a lot jealous, because they saying, how do they look like this? Like you you might have had some sleepless nights or something, but you get up and you go and you do whatever, and people are wondering, like, how do you do it? How do you still look wonderful? And same thing with the divine masculine. Like this, the glow up on this dude is crazy. Why, does he look like this? But it's love, it's twin flame energy. It's, so watch, I would say watch, read, listen to things that are going to lift you both up. Try to stay around people that are going to support, encourage, and lift you up, and stay away from negative energy, negativity, and things like that, because those things can lead to you getting into, accidents, or getting hurt, or, some bad thing happening. And so it's important for you to know that you need to focus more on doing stuff that's going to be positive, beneficial, that will serve the both of you, and continuing just to remember that divine masculine really does love you. They're really obsessed with you. And often, some people just aren't as expressive as they could be, and it takes a lot of practice, I would say. So if you're willing to practice with him until he gets it right, um, you could have something. All right, so I'm going to end the video for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Looking forward to bringing you some more videos soon. Just wanted to bring you this reading real quick, or not real quick, but just wanted to bring you this reading and more to come. Of course, as always, I say happy lightning fast manifesting, and I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. All right, love y'all. Bye for now.